Hi, I'm Dr. O, and today we're going to take a look at Oliver. And as Oliver walks by, we can see that he's a little bit short-strided in the right rear. All right, and as he comes back in, you'll notice that he's short-strided in the right rear. This is a pretty common thing for horses. They'll be short in one back leg or the other back leg, and a lot of times people just will assume, well, that's just Oliver. He's always short-strided in the right rear. It doesn't have to be that way. And one thing we need to remember is that in the horse, when he moves, it takes every muscle, every ligament, every tendon, every joint, and every bone in his body in order for him to move correctly. As Oliver moves, his head bobs, you know, okay? And as his head bobs, this jaw has to move. And that helps Oliver tell him where his body is in space and where it is relative to the ground. The way this jaw moves is very important. So that's where we have to make sure that his jaw moves side to side. And since his teeth grow continually, that's why dentistry is so important in these horses as far as performance and movement. No matter what their goal is, what their job is in life, if they can't move properly up here, they won't be able to move properly back there. And we keep going back. Now we come to a ligament. There's a ligament. It's called the nuchal ligament. It attaches right up here at the base of the skull, and it goes right to here. And there's some panels that go down in here, and it helps support the neck. And it stretches when the head goes down, and it relaxes when the head comes up. Well, how does that affect movement in the back? Well, there's a lot of other little ligaments called the supraspinous ligament that attach from this spine of this vertebra to this one, all the way back here. However, if we actually look at these, they're all interconnected. So as far as Oliver's concerned, even though we call them different things, and the anatomists call them different things, as far as Oliver's concerned, there's one ligament that goes from the base of his skull all the way right here to his lumbar sacral junction. Okay? So when his head goes down, it helps flex this. When his head comes up, it helps extend the thoracic spine and lumbar spine. So if we ask Oliver to do a butt tuck, okay, you notice his head goes down. And as he relaxes, his head comes back up. Right? And that's the way it should move. And that's how why the horse movement. It all is interconnected and it all moves together. If we look at Oliver from the back, okay, when I walk, I don't have to use my rib cage. I've broken a rib before. It only hurts when I breathe. But I can walk around and not move my rib cage. When Oliver walks, the muscles on this side of his body contract, push all the internal organs over, makes room forward. Then it's on the opposite side. That's why when we ride a horse, we feel that gentle rocking side to side. Okay? That's because the rib cage is actually working on helping us move side to side. Okay? We can look at his pelvis. Now, this is where we'll see that this side of his pelvis is a little bit low. This side of his pelvis is high. That's why he's short-strided on the one leg. Okay? So the whole body's connected on the horse. It takes every muscle, every bone, every ligament, and every tendon to move. So if we have restricted motion in one spot, we're going to end up with restricted motion in another spot. Right? So that's where chiropractic comes in. And that's why it's so important that we keep these horses well adjusted. Some signs that a horse is having some chiropractic problems can be a horse that bucks or kicks when you try to ride him. They'll pin their ears back when you groom them. Sometimes Oliver will do that. He's not so sore today, but when we scratch his back, he seems to relax. But sometimes they'll pin their ears back. By the same token, a horse that doesn't run and buck and kick, when you turn him out to pasture, can be an example of a horse that's having problems with some chiropractic issues. Okay? Now, when some of you are like, well, I can't see that Oscar was short-strided in this video at the beginning. One thing that we can do is march with our horse. And if you put your hand right here, and as the horse moves forward, then you will move forward with him. And let me cut away and we'll show you some marching with a horse. So as we walk and I get tapped off, I can feel the unevenness in my pelvis. Okay? And you can probably see in my pelvis that we take a longer step. So that's one way that you can tell that your horse is uneven strided, because when a horse is in a mirrored gait, both sides should move the same. So if you march with your horse's pelvis, you can tell if his front end is even. If you march with the horse's front end, you can tell if that's even. Remember, it should be very smooth and even gait. A walk is a nice 4-beat gait. I'm amazed at the number of people that are proud to be able to tell me what horse is walking down the cement aisle in their barn. They can identify their horses by sound alone. Truly, a horse that's moving correctly will be in a 4-beat even gait, and so all your horses should sound the same. Maybe a little heavier on all 4 beats or a little lighter on all 4 beats. Like Oliver's going to make a little more noise than a pony. You know, if we had a big draft horse, that would be a little louder than even Oliver. But a horse that is truly moving correctly should sound nice and even, leave nice even footprints in the sand, should be smooth and easy to walk with, and will have harmonized health.